Hey guys, I just finished making my first self-published book, Leaf's Library, and I tried various print-on-demand services. So I would figure I would contrast them. So here I have Bookvault, KDP, Barnes & Noble, and Ingramspark. So if you just want to know which one of these is the best in terms of print quality, hands down Bookvault, but I'll get into more specifics in a bit. If you want to know which one's easiest to set up and has the fastest turnaround time, KDP, Amazon definitely has fastest turnaround time. Now let's get into some more of the details between these different books. So I'm going to start by showing you the Bookvault version. This is the hardcover version, and this is more or less what it should look like. So we see here, we have the hardcover, you go inside, the paper is nice and thick. If you look at the pages look nice. In particular, the blacks are nice and dark and black. And if we look here, the spine just looks fine. There's only a little bit of white if you look real deep in it, but spine looks fine. Everything's good on this version. Okay, so let's go to the second best print quality in my opinion, which would be Amazon's KDP. Now, if you look at this, it's not quite as vibrant as the Bookvault one, but if you come over here and we go to look at the blacks. The blacks aren't quite as dark as Bookvault, but they're still pretty dark. The main issue with Amazon's printing is this. Can you see that gutter there? Might have to get up a little closer. Yeah, that gutter is fairly visible without looking closely. And for a lot of books, this is fine. But for my particular book, I really don't like this. So I don't want to use Amazon for that reason. But besides that, the colors are mostly fine. The print happened pretty quickly. I'm basically happy with the rest of it. Okay, now for Ingramspark and Barnes & Noble, we basically both got the same issue. And that is, so here's Ingramspark's. If we come here, might be a little hard to tell on camera, but the blacks are really washed out. So this black is kind of a gray. Now, if you don't care that much about it, it's fine, but this black should be a lot darker than it is. And this same issue also exists with the Barnes & Noble version. Oh, and this white border you see around the Barnes & Noble issue, that's my fault. That's not a printing error. That is a file format error. I uploaded the file wrong. See, Barnes & Noble also printed it very washed out. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on camera, but the difference between the two is very visible in person. Can you see the difference between these blacks? Yeah. Okay. So that was more or less the printing experience. Because I care about the color in these white spaces, for the moment I'm planning on only using Bookvault, although I might do a different printer if I go to larger volumes. Now I want to talk a little bit about the experience of these different platforms. So in terms of uploading ease, Amazon hands down. You can upload a copy of your book to Amazon and it will be printed and to you a proof within a week. So the process of uploading books on Amazon is by far the best. The second best process for uploading the book would probably go to Barnes & Noble, but the big issue with Barnes & Noble is that it takes a really long time for them to print and send a book out to you. So Barnes & Noble is a pretty easy book to upload your book with, but it takes a long time to get back a copy. And then next we have Bookvault. Bookvault is pretty similar to Barnes & Noble in terms of ease. It's pretty straightforward, and Bookvault's customer service doesn't get back to you quite as fast as Amazon's, but it gets back to you very quick. So the customer service on Bookvault is also very good. Finally, Ingramspark is kind of a pain in the butt. It takes a long time for anything to get approved. It doesn't take quite as long to ship your proofs to you as Barnes & Noble, but it takes a really long time for it to get approved. And their customer service takes a very long time. I'm not sure, I reached out to them several weeks ago about this black issue where I'm not happy with the black, and they still haven't responded to me. So between these 4 print-on-demand services, I like Bookvault the most. I will mention though, there still seems to be some issue with the Bookvault. So Bookvault is currently rolling out its printing in the US, but for that really thick paper and for these shorter hardcover books, for picture books, that's not rolled out in the US yet. So all of my Bookvault books are actually still printed in the UK and then shipped here. So this means that shipping time's a little bit higher. And I've also, since I did the original version of this book, the page count changed slightly. So I uploaded a version, got a proof, and then modified it a little bit. And that modification after 3 to 4 weeks hasn't been reflected on their website. As far as I can tell, it's been about 6 weeks now, and this information is still not available for people to buy this on Ingram. It's still not available on Amazon.com. So I think there might have been some weird software issue keeping them from pushing the listing information out. So that may be an issue with Bookvault going forward, but in terms of the actual print quality, it's very good. Bookvault has the best quality, followed by Amazon, followed by Barnes & Noble and Ingram. And for just ease of use and customer service, in general, I would probably go KDP's easiest to use, has the best customer service, followed probably by Bookvault, even though it's a little bit harder to upload, their customer service is better. Then followed by Barnes & Noble, and in last place is Ingram. You can look up the prices for what you want, but I should also cover prices. The cheapest for printing these books is Amazon, although you see there's no hardcover for Amazon, and that's because there's a minimum page limit for hardcovers, and my book doesn't qualify for that. But they are the cheapest if you can print with them. Followed by Barnes & Noble and Bookvault cost about the same for their hardcovers. So these two are very similar. And then finally, the most expensive is Ingram. The main reason why I didn't make a hardcover for Ingram is that to print a hardcover with Ingram was going to cost me $11 a hardcover. If I'm going to sell these at $20 and give a 45% wholesale discount to retailers who want to carry my book, I would have to sell this book at no profit if I was going to print with Ingram. So printing hardcovers with Ingram is just not a financially viable option. Okay, and obviously the cheapest way to print is to do a larger print run, but for authors like me who aren't sure if they're going to have large print runs, we still need to make a profit on the print-on-demand books, even if it's small. Alright, that's all I want to say. If you're interested in buying one of these books, Leaf's Library is available on Etsy and on Bookvault's Great British Bookshop, and it's also available at Book People if you live in the Austin area. I hope that this was informative to you. Thanks. Goodbye.